Yeah, pretty much anything. So let me share. Hang on here. So we'll start. We'll go over just pretty much all the trades I took earlier and just my strategy. So
Okay.
you can see my screen pretty good here, correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll start on US 30. So basically, with my strategy and what's been killing it lately is what I call just my support and resistance strategy. So it's just these horizontal lines right here that I'm
Mm-hmm.
drawing, right? So in you can I like to trade on the 1 hour time frame, and
Okay.
but usually I will start like if I was gonna mark up this chart with nothing on it here, let me erase everything so I can just kind of go through what I would do if there was no technical lines on this chart. And it's something that you can do like after this session that you can do and just to kind of start practicing the
Okay.
strategy. And like I said, it works with everything. Hang on, I got some stuff popping up here from me just restarting my computer.
Yeah, I watched a couple of your videos and your lives last week.
Yeah. So what I'll do is like say there was nothing, drawn on this right here. I'll go to the 4 hour and I want to get like I said, I'll call the horizontal strategies just the support, which our support is where price is touching down here, and then resistance where it's touching. It's like, that old saying, buy low, sell high, right? So I'll go here on the four
Mm-hmm.
hour chart and I'll want to find like the lowest points. I'll want to erase this so I can just kind of give you an example. So I'll want to find the highest point, which will be my resistance, and then the
Mm-hmm.
lowest point, which will be my support. So I'll draw a horizontal line. So I'll go down here. It touched twice over there. So I'll draw it up there. And then also I'll draw another one up here because it's hit, hit right there. It's hit there again. And then just to get an overall picture, the 4 hour, you can see I got a lot of stuff on here. So that if I was to zoom all the way out, that's why I got a green line up here. And then we got that support down here. But I'll want to go to the 1 hour to kind of just get a better, to just kind of see what's currently going on, right? So on the
Okay.
1 hour, let me I'll right click on the chart on trading view and to do
Okay.
reset chart view just to make those candlesticks a little better. And then I'll go in here. Okay, so we have our support down here, and then our resistance line up here that we just did. So what I'll do on the hour is I'll also find like see how it's right here, and then it's hit down here, and it's hit a couple times. So I'll draw another support area right here because it's prices hit here. So it's not only just the lowest and highest point. I want to find where prices kind of hit and touch. So it's hit here again. So that to me, that's a trend, right?
Okay.
So I'm basically just finding trends with horizontal lines. As you can
Okay.
kind of see the pattern how prices just kind of goes back and forth in between these lines, right? So and then another one like for example here it could be another form of resistance is and that's why I sold earlier because prices came up right in here. It's hit in here a couple times. It's bounced through, but
Mm-hmm.
it's gone back.
Okay.
So, and I'll be able to give you a better example on like NASDAQ and stuff. This is kind of just been see how
So
price.
what are the slanted lines, like the red ones?
So basically, I have my strategy is using horizontal trend lines and the vertical trend lines. So the red trend line. So what I'll do on the red trend lines is what mostly like big banks like to trade with, right? So there's only two things that can move the market, right? It's the fundamentals that we see like high impact news like CPI,
Mm-hmm.
unemployment claims. And then when that high impact news is not going on and the economics is when there's nothing pushing the market, it's going to be the technicals, right? So
Mm-hmm.
on the technicals on this, we'll try to find a good example. I'll show you a good example of the technicals on NASDAQ here. So on these, if I was going to draw this on NASDAQ. Let me make this a little bigger for you. So this is why I sold NASDAQ earlier. So on the trend lines, I like to I call it trading like the big banks because hedge funds and big banks and stuff like to use these big trend lines. That's why you see moves. And what I'll do is I'll find an area of price where it's a trend. I call it two or more. So usually you start at a high point and go to a low point, like right there. We're at this trend on the 1 hour. So prices hit here, it's hit here, and it's in this area. So it's either going to break through this and keep going, or it's going to come back down. So
Mhm.
I'll do it on both sides. So I'll have my support and resistance on both sides. So right here, I'll draw again. So because it's touched this right here, let's see. See how it's hit, prices hit here, it hit
Yeah.
here, it hit here, it hit here. So if you were just waiting, on those, and then on this one, it broke through, right? But it broke through if you had your support and resistance, you can use like the horizontal lines to see where price is going. And right here we can see price could eventually come up here up to this resistance area and come back down. But I think it's going to go down because of what US 30 was doing, but it's kind of already shown signs of going down here. So if I zoom in here, we're kind of getting those red candlesticks down, right?
Hmm.
That's why I sold
Is
NASDAQ.
Forex 24 hours?
Yeah, so Forex is 24 hours, crypto is 7 days a week. So NASDAQ and US 30, which are called indices, they're open from Sunday to Friday.
Hmm.
So Sunday at 5 p.m. It would be 6 p.m. your time until the Friday at 5 p.m. But they have a break from 4 to 5 Central Time every day. They pause. It's called a maintenance period.
Okay.
Yep. So pretty much like what I would want you to start practicing on is just these horizontal using horizontal lines to find our support and resistance area.
Support and resistance.
Yeah,
Okay.
so right here you can see, I mean on this vertical line we see the price we're in a downward trend, but it's starting to push back up. But let me go
Hmm.
to like
I
gold.
have a quick question. So I see that some of the ones you said you buying it and some you're selling it, right? You're not
Yeah.
just like buying it when it's going high and then selling it when it reached
Yeah, so
that resistance, right?
it's not like stocks, right? So
Okay.
stocks, most people when you're trading in the stock market, you want to buy at a low price, and then you sell off like once it reaches a certain price, once it goes up. So in Forex,
Mm-hmm.
you can make money off buying and selling, right? So back to the trend line is kind of what I want you to focus on drawing these trend lines, right? So for example,
Okay.
gold, okay? So I'll show you a good example on gold, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here on gold, this is on the 4 hour. So I noticed earlier and why I've been selling gold this week because gold's been pushing up. If we look at it, it's been pushing up all year, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's been on a straight.
Because
Yeah.
everybody's trying to get out of the
Uh-huh.
stock market and
Yep.
put it in. They think gold is safer.
So on the 4 hour on gold, right? I saw this trend line and it's been pushing the market down. So look, we got one touch. Here, let me draw this a little better for you. So we got see the one touch, bam. So it hit once, twice, and it
Mhm.
almost hit
Three
right
times.
there.
Wait, what about the one like closer to when it's a little bit down, right above that support line
Yeah.
that
So
became the
yeah,
resistance that became support? Okay.
yeah. So and then as well, so look how this matched up perfectly right here. So like right in here, you see how when I, how I drew why I drew this resistance area because we
Yeah.
got our resistance on the trend line and then we also got our resistance with the horizontal line. And the reason I drew this one is because
Mm-hmm.
price has touched one, two, it broke through there, but it's respecting that 4 hour trend line, that right there, that vertical trend line. So we're
Mm-hmm.
right here, we're almost back down because earlier when we bought that, I bought in there because I saw that it's hit. I drew this support line because I saw price has been down in this area. It was down here, it was down in here, came back. and it's respecting that trend line. So I think the overall, I think price will go up into here, into the 33, 36 area, and then come back down. But it could also push down on this for because of this trend line that I found. It could
Okay.
keep pushing down, right? Because it is, and I also found usually on the you guys see on the top side where I have that top, I'll usually find trends like this. So like look, so prices hit. If you want to see like the overall trend of gold right now, of what I
Mm-hmm.
think is gonna happen, you see one, two, three, confirm the trend. So the price has just been going. It had a sideways phase, consolidation
Mm-hmm.
phase for a little bit, but you see the overall move of that and why price is doing that. These are big banks. That's big banks and
Mm-hmm.
hedge funds. They're selling up here and they're buying down here, right? And
Mm-hmm.
most why it works like that is most people that just trade support and resistance, they get stuck sometimes on that. So this is hedge funds and big banks pushing down price. They're taking all those stop losses of people that were trying to buy right there. So we know if price comes back down into here, it'll eventually come back down into this 30, 39 area, which
Okay.
it could break through this. We moved this stop. That's why I moved the stop loss on gold. I just saw that on this earlier on this bar. I was like, okay, it's probably going to come back. But now looking at it, it could keep pushing all the way down because you see that this is what I like
Yeah.
to find in the market, right? So this is like the best you can find. We can find where price is trending through here. So we got
Mm-hmm.
our support and resistance areas. So we with the horizontal line, so we know, but we know with the red trend lines, we know like the where the overall price is going, which is down. So
Sure.
this is a
So
good.
how, like, do you try to, where do you enter the trade? Like like, let's say right here, the lowest one at the bottom
Oh, right
of
here.
the red line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So this would have been. So you see how we had this touch. So I would have already had this drew from here. Um.
mm-hmm.
So hit there. So what I like to look for is a lot of times. Like I reason I you see me buying like right here, because I know the overall trend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Earlier that on that gold, but right here I would just you want to wait for these prices to like, I would have been waiting for that. I don't think I got in until right here. I missed out on
Okay.
that buy, right? But
Okay.
right here would have been a perfect time because you would have imagine none of this was there. You would have had this if you would have had because I with the vertical lines I count two as a trend. Like
Okay.
once there's
Oh, I
two
see what you're
drawn,
saying.
so I
Okay.
got one,
Yeah,
two
because you did
drawn.
that.
I know price is
Mm-hmm.
going to come back down into here. And I know a lot of this is what happened. See, a lot of people were probably banking off of this price going down, only coming down to right here where that support level was. And
Mm-hmm.
they all lost right there because you always got to put those trend lines like the big banks and hedge funds use. You always
Mm-hmm.
got to be aware of those as the support resistance as well. So like my
Okay.
strategy basically is combining the horizontal, I call it the horizontal strategy and then the trend line strategy, put them both together and seeing what's going on in the market, right? So
Okay.
like I said, I knew that last week I was killing on gold because I just knew the overall trend we're gonna buy. And
Mm-hmm.
now we're up into here where
It's looking the
yeah,
opposite.
we're out of this trade now, because we moved stop loss, but you could see price bounce off this support area right here. But I think the overall trend is we're going to see this coming down. We have a lot of high impact news coming out tomorrow, right? OFMC, they're pretty much the rest. I mean, these right here are going to make the market go crazy. And what I like to do is I like to just stay out of those, but when that time comes, like an hour before, and then get back in after a couple hours after they're out.
Okay. So
But
you
yeah,
say US 30 is an index, right?
yes.
Okay. What is it like? What's in it?
So it's the top 30 companies. So it's like Nike, Chevron, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. So it's like basically
Okay.
like it's like one big stock.
Mm-hmm.
How are all those stocks doing? Like how
Mm-hmm.
are their sales doing for each quarter?
Like the
That's it.
S&P 500.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like that because like US 30 and S&P 500 do almost the exact same thing, right?
Oh,
And
really? Okay.
NASDAQ they usually do what because look US 30's been pushing up. Look, what's NASDAQ been doing? Pushing up. They do the same thing because they're mostly those American companies that they're doing the same thing. So like if you had a small count, like you wanted to
Hmm.
trade, you could just trade SPX. Look, it's been going. Look, see, it's been going up. Just like US 30 and NASDAQ, right?
Okay.
Uh-huh. And there's like there's pairs that correlate with like USD JPY and GBP JPY usually do what US 30 does. So
Yeah, so you were trading the US
yeah.
in the Japanese yen.
Yeah. So like on this US 30, let me show you another way like that I use those trend lines for breakout
Okay.
to find breakout areas because usually what will happen, okay, so we have our trend, right? So we had this trend line that was going, and I love finding trades like this, right? This is why I bought US 30 last night. So look, we have our trend, right? So it was bouncing off this and it was shooting down, right? And then the reason that this trend line that price broke out through this because this trend line is no longer valid once price reaches down into the support area.
But yeah.
It'll once it's gonna always push back through that trend line because it's no longer valid because we reached our support area. Now we have a new direction of price, right? Now
Hmm.
we're going up, right? So, and same thing,
So
like
where did you get on the trade last night?
on last night, I got right here. Let me zoom in on this so you can see. Last night I got in right here,
Okay.
so because price was consolidating right here,
Hmm.
trying to figure out which way to go, right? Price
Hmm.
dropped down into here, and it was kind of like it was almost at like a new support area because I had a because look I knew it
You
was
have to touch.
yeah, and this is like a perfect example of how we won last night because price was consolidating. I knew we already broke through this trend line, and that's what I like to look for. Look, we want to look for breakout through these trend lines that have basically exhausted themselves because we've already reached our
Hmm.
low points in liquidity, and now they got to get that back. So, and then the reason I sold is earlier is because this right here, I kind of had a resistance area there. Hadn't quite touched it yet, but see right there, we have a point, and then kind of was kind of back and forth. So that's why I sold earlier. And then
Okay.
also, I just kind of noticed something, just showing you that this could be the new trend for US 30 here. You see that? Now we got one, two, and that's our new trend and
Okay.
resistance right there. So the overall direction of US 30 is I think is gonna go down. We could see it push up here, but I mean we got this OFMC is gonna push the market a lot tomorrow. Either it could go either way. I mean it's almost hard to predict on these. I mean a
Hmm.
majority of the time when
Hmm.
anything OFMC it pushes it up, but it could also push the market down. So we want to stay
Okay.
out when that happens.
Okay. How
But
long have you been trading, if you don't mind me asking?
it's I started trading in 2013. When I was in business school, I was in a lot of
Hmm.
finance classes.
Hmm.
I started trading. I was like on and off, like going through college because I was an athlete, and then
Hmm.
I really picked it up again in 2016 when I
Okay.
graduated. Because in college I
Yeah.
was like I was making money like I had no idea what I was doing and I would literally just buy or sell and I saw a real potential of waking up hundreds of dollars not even knowing what I was doing and I was like
And that was in Forex, or
yeah that was
do you ever
yeah
trade stocks? Okay.
never really I've invested in a few stocks recently like some AI stocks and
Hmm.
made a good amount of money but it's just more of like of like me buying penny stocks and holding.
Okay.
Not really day trading stocks, but technically with Dow Jones, NASDAQ, I mean, they're pretty much stocks, trading every
Okay.
day. this strategy that I'm showing you, it works. It works with crypto. It
Mm-hmm.
works with any stock pair. I mean, it's something I want to. I've always wanted to look into is trying to day trade stocks like with my strategy. But I mean, I can tell you, I mean, it works. I mean, this strategy works great with Bitcoin. I mean, it does great on Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've like just buy stuff for crypto.
yeah.
I've never
So
day trade crypto.
yeah, I mean, Bitcoin. I mean, it's like every set, like except for this past week, but like
Mm-hmm.
the 3 weeks before that, I mean, it was just straight selling and you see some of these big trades I got. I mean, look, it's just off that support and resistance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bought here, sold up here again, and then it broke through that was this last week. It broke through this and looks like the new support and resistance for Bitcoin is going to be like right. I would say I would like right in that area.
Do you use funded accounts?
Yeah, a little bit. I was doing FTMO a little bit, but recently they like I was like a lot last year, but not ever since they stopped with taking US clients. But I've recently I found let me see what it was called. I found a prop firm that's taking US clients, and it's called We Master Trade. I've been I want to do an account. WeMasterTrade.com. I'm just not sure if I trust it yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, look,
Yeah,
if you
because
look at it,
I've opened a trade. I haven't used TradingView because I used to trade on E-Trade. That's what I've been trading on.
yeah.
But so I'm just trying to like learn. That's the thing. Like it's like different with TradingView. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to
uh
learn.
I would get on TradingView. Like you can have it on your phone and
Hmm.
you can like anywhere you're at,
Yeah, I got one in February. I opened an account with them in February.
nice. Yeah. So you could just practice, say you're laying in bed and you don't want to be on your computer. You could just,
Hmm.
like what I do, you could practice, like take your phone out, turn it sideways, and you can practice
Hmm.
drawing those horizontal and vertical lines. And like just
Okay.
feel free to like DM me on Telegram and
Hmm.
or on WAP, whichever one.
Okay.
And you're like, hey Brian, check out my analysis on this pair, whatever. It could be a stock, it could be
Hmm.
crypto, US 30, NASDAQ, USD
Okay.
JPY, and I'll tell you what I think about it. And that's what I would suggest. Like just practice
Hmm.
those
Like sim trading,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And then like when I send a trade
Hmm.
to the group, like you go to that chart and mark up and you'll be able to see why I'm taking a certain trade.
Okay.
And then we can start doing like these calls. I mean, this time at night works best for me. If you need to go like a little earlier, I understand.
Hmm.
Uh, I like this time of night is like the market start to pick up. Like in a couple like around this time they'll start moving a little bit, So
Okay.
yeah.
So what time do you have specific time that you trade or you just
Yeah, well, I like to trade like I'll trade the New York session like sometimes, but sometimes I like about 6 p.m. to now is like my favorite time to trade.
okay.
Yeah, because we don't like now, like if you think about now, like right now, there's no really fundamental or high impact news or economics coming out right now. Everybody that does news, everybody that works on Wall Street is
Mm-hmm.
they're at home right now, right?
Yeah.
In some other countries like London session and 2 a.m. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be that pushes the market. So we can get our trading out of the way right now and just be done for the day. It just would take a couple of hours. Like I mean on this US 30 trade, I mean this is like a if we hit take profit one, that's like an 800 pip win. I mean that we've already won the gold. But yeah, I mean this US 30 trade is going to be nice. I mean, I bet this will push down probably. I mean, it could push all the way down until about 2 a.m. because sometimes in London it's just it kind of can go either way, depending on how the psychological of those London traders are, what they're doing. But
Do you have a goal you try to trade for every day or no?
yeah, like I want to get like a 3,000 pip win. Like if say whether that's say I like to be 3,000 pips in profit each day. Whether that be US, like just one US 30 trade, just one or two gold trades, or say whether it's a US 30 NASDAQ and gold trade, right? But usually, I mean, all these pairs are kind of correlating. So, I mean, you could just do one trade a day, and we don't, you know, one of these US 30 trades a day could really change your life, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw today. Did you really do the 244 into that
Yeah, but
amount?
it's like it was a lot more than just one trade. It was like an
I
all
know
day.
it's a multiple,
Yeah,
right?
it was like me constantly looking at the charts all day, getting in and getting out. It was like more like a scalping, but most of those trades were from the trades I took and sent to the VIP group. I was just going with that direction of the overall direction what I thought it was going to go. And
Okay.
there was like one of those US 30 trades I sent was like a two. It was like three or 400. I think it was a couple of them. But yeah, so nice.
Wow.
Yep. So I
No,
mean,
because
this
I
US
always wanted
30,
to
I mean,
learn.
we're like this is going right down to our take profit one. So I mean, look like it's going to turn into a nice trade.
Yeah, because I wish I got into this sooner, but it feels like before it just looks so intimidating.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
it can be a lot like, and that's why like there's like a lot of indicators out there. There's a lot of different strategies people are using. I mean, this with the support and resistance and then doing the trend lines like the big banks is like it's simple. And once I started trading like this,
hmm
because like in 20 like when I started like I would say it took me a couple when I started got back into trading when I graduated in 2016, it took me about till about 2018 of I was trying a bunch of different strategies, right? And then when I started just focusing on how big banks trade and with these trend lines and then these support and resistance areas, I mean it made it so much easier. You just have to wait and just you basically see the overall trend, you know, with this like look at this NASDAQ. I mean, this is going to drop. I mean, this is like a perfect trade setup of how my strategy, you know, the strategy that I use. We've got our right down in here. We've got our support. We got our resistance area up here. I mean,
hmm
resistance is kind of right there. I mean, but see if without the red trend lines like the big banks, I mean, we'd be kind of almost lost on this trade. We see, I mean, we have a nice trend right here with that. I mean, price. I mean, it's perfectly. You know, if that could continue down. And another thing I use is a stochastic. It shows the over when price is overbought and when it's oversold. Right now, the price is showing that it's overbought. So it's another thing that can.
That's why, so it's gonna go down.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's starting to push down. So
Okay.
these yep. So yeah, start practicing on those, and then um we can we'll get on a call again tomorrow and we'll kind of see what you've learned and
Okay.
I recorded this so I can send it I'll send it back to you and so you can watch it again if you want but just
Okay.
mainly
Perfect.
focus on just drawing the support
hmm
like I said it can be any two touches counts as a trend to me on
hmm
both of them right so we got like on this one two and then on this area like on this
You have more than two.
one yeah I mean this right here would have been one two but really our support for NASDAQ now is really
hmm
is going to be like right in this area
hmm
yeah also I mean actually support for I'll show you what one the new support for NASDAQ is right here because look we got one touch I'll count that as a touch three touches right there. So price could possibly come back down into here for NASDAQ.
So then you will buy to go down to that, or you do you
Right
still buy
here I would
before?
wait. Once
hmm
price hit here, I would wait to see. I would either want to see candlesticks start pushing back up before I bought,
Okay.
or see because
So
you
to see if it's really
yeah
gonna become the new support.
uh-huh
Okay.
exactly. But right here, I mean overall, I mean we're pushing down on this NASDAQ. I mean just using that vertical trend line, you could have found this trade, you know, bam, bam. That's, I mean, the third touch is really, it's really the nice. I mean, look on the third touch, one, two, three. It kind of, that was a, I mean, it shot up a little bit right there, came back down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Oh,
Okay.
any questions before we hop off here?
No, I'm just gonna like go in my trading view and start
Yeah,
using it.
that's the best way. Just start drawing those support and resistance, and then drawing those vertical trend lines. And you feel free
Okay.
to send me any. You can send me pictures of your charts and everything, and I'll tell you what I think.
Okay. All
Alrighty.
right. Perfect.
Yep.
All
You have a
right. So
good
you
night.
said the on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, right?
Yeah, the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Yes.
Okay. So which one do you use to actually trade? The 4 hour or
The
the
one
one?
hour. You want to get on the find the trends on the 1 hour. The best trends to find.
Okay.
Yes.
But you start out on the four
Start out on
first
the
and
four
then go.
hour. You have to get an overall picture, and then go into
Mm-hmm.
the 1 hour is where I enter the trades.
Okay.
Yep. And
All right.
sounds good. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you. Have a
Yep,
good
no
night.
problem. You too. Bye.
Bye.